happy Wednesday this weekend, whether you officially celebrate Thanksgiving or not. Hopefully you have a great long weekend. Obviously it's the 7th of the month, so this past Thursday, hi Justin, hi Scotty. This past Thursday we did our $1,000 giveaway, so a fellow named Mike won, and he was nominated by his girlfriend Haley. So if you guys want to nominate anybody, this last month actually had the least amount of people nominated the whole time, so it was going up every single month, and then last month was down. So your chances are better for your person to win. So nominate somebody for October, and then November 1st, I haven't looked at the day of what the first is, but we'll knock on somebody's door. And again, this can be for any reason. You don't have to be a client of Cripps Realty or anything like that. You, not even you, the person just has to live in Simcoe County, and they have to be over the age of 18, okay? Hello. Just seeing what you guys are writing. Hope you guys are awesome. So I'm going to start first with a question, okay? So the first question is from Dave, and Dave's from Barrie. He said, my wife is pressuring me to getting a new front door. She said it'll make a world of difference, but I can't see us getting dollar for dollar for it. Do you think we should get a new one, economically speaking? Thank you, Dave, for asking. And I don't want to like get in the middle of a family dispute, but normally I would say no, it doesn't give you dollar for dollar. And I don't know if you're like, yeah, I told you so right now, or what have you, but normally it does not get you dollar for dollar. Doors are not cheap, so if you're spending like, $4 to $7 grand, I would not expect to get that regularly. I would say that you might get 500 to 3,000 max. However, currently the market is crazy, and there is a better chance that your home may sell as opposed to somebody with like an old beat up door. Just stop there for a second randomly. That was weird. But so that's what I'd say about that, Dave. Depending on how old your house, or not your house, well, I guess your house too, but your door is, maybe you can just cut out the insert, or not cut it out, but change it. So maybe it's got like old flowers and it's a bit outdated that way. You could just change the glass insert. Also, maybe you don't have an insert at all. There are companies that will come and like cut it out, and you can put a nice, clear glass or something that's more modern in there. So maybe you want to do that. So thank you for asking. So first off, we are going to get to a man who cleaned his garage and made people cry. I know it sounds weird, but it happened in Alabama. So I'm going to a different page. Are Scotty and Justin, are you together right now? Okay. So in Alabama, I'm going to have to read what his letter said, but basically this man that was 72 cleaned out his garage. He found all these baseballs, and he remembered like playing baseball with his son and his grandson, and he took it to a local batting cage and said free, and wrote a note with it, and this is what the note said. So it said, hope someone can use these baseballs in the batting cages. I found them cleaning my garage. I pitched them to my son and grandson for countless rounds. My son is now 46 and my grandson 23. I am 72, and what I wouldn't give to pitch a couple of buckets with them. They have moved away. If you have a father, cherish these times, or a son, you won't believe how quickly they will be gone. And then he wrote, P.S. Give them a hug and tell them you love them every chance you get, which was adorable and obviously went viral because the grandson posted it. Hi, Jay. Hi, Tiff. Happy Wednesday. So anyways, it's just saying love your, whether it's parents or you're a parent and your kids, and cherish those times and stuff. So I just thought it was cute because it's close to Thanksgiving, but obviously year-round, but we're made more aware of it at Thanksgiving. I hope, Tiff, you're having a great morning. Tiff is on a different time zone than we are. So next question comes from Janice in Stainer. So Janice said, I've been living with my boyfriend for 22 years. He is not on title of my house or the mortgage. He doesn't want to sell, but I want to move closer to my grandkids. Can he officially stop me from selling? Thank you, Janice, for asking, and that is unfortunate that you guys aren't on the same page. I don't know how you've set it up with the government, so I don't know if you've just said to the government that he rents a room, or if they know that he's common law. If they know that he's common law, he will have to sign under the spousal consent, so he does have to sign off to list it as well as to sell it. If you know, you just said he rents a room or whatever, you can list it and sell it without him. However, I would imagine if he like shows pictures of you guys like together or kissing or being a couple, that he could probably fight that and say that he is common law with you and that he should be signing on spousal consent. So that is something I would ask your lawyer, because I don't know how that would work. But yeah, if you've been declaring him as a spouse and a dependent and so forth, and the government knows your common law, he does have to sign to list the house, as well as any agreements that come in for sale to purchase it, okay? Hello, Melissa. I hope you're well. Hi, Sarah. I hope you are well, and your mom and all your siblings. Sarah has, it's been so long I forget, I want to say four siblings, 1 boy and 3 sisters. Okay, so next question, or no, not question. Now we're talking about something, not a question. Oh yeah, so I used to have a turtle a million years ago named Freddie, and he came with that name. I didn't name him that. I just never changed it. But the reason I'm bringing up Freddie is because it's turtles. And basically there's a bunch of turtles that are endangered, and people are stealing the eggs, and they're selling them to restaurants as I can't even say that word, delicatessen-y, whatever that word is. So basically this company called Investigator, made these fake little eggs with GPSs in them. And as their first start round, they put 100 of them out into nests, and over a quarter of them, so I forget, 27 or whatever, were taken illegally and taken to restaurants. So hopefully this new GPS thing can track it and stop the trafficking of it, because there's not many of these certain types of turtles left. So anyways, I just thought that was neat that they, made this GPS thing for turtles. So the next question comes from Katie in Midhurst. So Katie says, I know you touch on mindset sometimes, and I was wondering, I'm trying to try some new things out on social media, but there seems to be some trolls that are all over my page, and it's really getting to me. Do I block them? Do I respond? What do I do? Thank you for writing, Katie. So it's up to you. What I do is I don't block them, and I do respond. I don't respond like, F you, you're an idiot, or you're dumb, or you're whatever. I just had somebody yesterday, for example, so our $1,000 giveaway. He wrote F off, but not with the letter F off. He said, F off, nobody gives money away for free. And I was like, actually, I do. And I do it the first of every month. And I said something along the lines of, with that attitude, I don't think anybody's going to nominate you to win. But basically that's what I said. So I respond to them. I don't, nitpick them and be like, look at them and, talk badly about their body or their circumstance or anything like that. I just respond to it. So, it's up to you. I feel like if you block them, then they won. And then they'll just use that as fuel, and they'll make up another account or whatever. Or they'll get their friends to comment on it. So I wouldn't do that. But I just feel like it's stuff that's, going on with their life and has nothing to do with you anyway. So you can just comment to it. And usually, I've had people respond to me privately, sometimes on public chat, and just say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that, or no, you're beautiful, or whatever people are saying. So that's what I do. But thank you for writing. Freddie would be proud. Scotty, thank you. It's cute. I didn't invent it, but he would be. Okay. So next is, I said heroes, come in all shapes and sizes. So in Greece, there is a mountain that people like to climb a lot. It's not a super easy mountain. It's over 2,900 meters, and it's called Mount Olympus or Mount Myticus. Yeah, Myticus. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But there's this fellow, long distance runner athlete, and he's climbed tons of mountains, and he ran across this girl who was 22 and a student. However, to think of a 22-year-old as opposed to looking at her, she looks maybe more like 6 years old, and I'm just saying because of her size. She's very, very small, and has, some disabilities going on, so he knew that she would never be able to actually climb it because he had climbed it before. So he offered to carry her. So he carried her up the whole way. They did have like 8 people just in case something happened and to set up camp and for her needs and stuff along the way. But he carried her the entire way. So his name, they're like Greek names. Marios is kind of like Mario, but Marios, and her name's Elfathina. I might not be saying that right. But anyways, so I just like that because she put out there what her dreams were and somebody made it come true. So I liked that. So what do I have next? I have one more question before real estate stuff. Hi, Grim. I hope you're feeling nice and old. Grim celebrated his birthday the other day. Okay, so this question comes from Stacy. You came right in time for real estate stuff, Grim. One question, then real estate. So Stacy and Mark and Barry, we're planning on listing our home before Christmas. What's the biggest trend you're seeing right now? It's a short question. What is the biggest trend we're seeing right now? Thank you for asking, Stacy and Mark. What I would say the biggest trend we're seeing is accent walls. So not to say like this, but like with, I call it 2x4s, but they're not 2x4s. You know when people have like the wood and they do different things like that, whether it's just very, not geometrical. I can't even speak English today. Geometric. And other times it's more artsy. So we're seeing a lot of that. And then the whole thing's painted one color, whether it's white or black or cream or whatever. So we're seeing tons of accent walls, lots of times in living rooms or master bedrooms, and even sometimes in like nurseries and so forth and offices. So that's what we're seeing the most of. And second, I would say we're seeing the most of is people taking some upper cabinets away. So let's just say their kitchen is an L shape. They will take off some upper cabinets on one side, and then they'll put like either live edge or wood or whatever, some floating shelves just in the one spot, not the whole spot, because it's kind of annoying to get your cups and your plates down below if everything's down below. So they're just opening it up a bit, adding that wood element to spice up the kitchen. And if it's a dark kitchen, they're either changing the doors to new fronts to white shaker, or they're just painting it white shaker and usually putting up a new backsplash. So accent walls, and then taking out a couple of upper cabinets in kitchens and making it more open, having wood shelving, floating shelving is the main thing. Thank you for asking. Okay, so now we're doing real estate, and just a reminder for those people who weren't on before that we do $1,000 giveaway every month. You do not have to be a Cripps Realty client. None of them actually that have won so far have been Cripps Realty clients, and we haven't known any of them. So you just have to nominate somebody. You send a video, you take your phone and you just say, "Hi, I'm Kristin. I want to nominate Ralph because he's a cool dad and he lives next door to me and he always rakes my leaves," or whatever you want to say, and send it to info@crippshomes.com. Okay, info@crippshomes.com. Touching story, Grim. Why, thank you. Hi, Marcy. Hope you are well. Okay, so real estate. So obviously that we're in October. So now I have the full month of September to tell you guys. So in Simcoe County as a whole, so every single region, there's been 1,031 homes that sold in September. And just so you know, that's 53.2 more homes than were sold last year. And the average price of those homes was $628 and change. I don't ever say the change. So $628, which is 26% more than last year. Okay, so 1,031 homes sold in September. And then when we look at just Barrie, so we take out Innisfil, Oro, Springwater, Essa, etc., there was 329 homes that sold in Barrie, and as you can guess, that was also up 55.2% over last year's September. And the average price was $567 and change, and that's 13.5% higher than last year. And for the condo world and apartments, there was 52 condos that sold in September, which was 67.7% higher than September of last year. And the average sales price was $410 and change, which was 9.1% higher than last year's condos. And then if we take out Barrie and we just do the surrounding areas in September, there were 702 homes that sold, which is 52.3% higher. and the average sales price was $656,000 on their homes. I don't know why the Wi-Fi keeps going up. I'm back. Okay, so then if we break it into types of houses, so now we're in all of Simcoe, September 2020 versus September 2019, okay? So a detached house in September 2019, how many sold? There was 512, okay, in all of Simcoe that sold in 2019. And in 2020, there was 762. So 512 versus 762 this year, which was up 48.8%. And then last year, the average sales price of a detached was 540. And this year, the average price is 692. So you can imagine if you were approved for 550 last year, and this year you're still approved for 550 and maybe 570. But now that house that was 540 is now 692. So most people obviously can't save that fast. So getting into real estate is a great way to save money and save that fast and build equity. Then semi-detached houses last year in September, there was 17 that sold. This year there was 38 that sold, which was 123.5% more. And last year for semi-detached houses, the average sales price was 402 and change, and this year it was 464 and change, which is up 15.4%. And then for townhomes, there was 66 houses sold last September and 105 sold this September, which is up 59.1%. And then the average price last year was 407 for townhouses, and this year the average price was 46, which is up 19.3%. And then lastly is condos in September versus last September in all of Simcoe County. So 52 sold last year in September. This year 103 sold. Obviously more than doubled, almost doubled. One condo shy of doubled. 98.1%, it's more sales. And last year the average sales price was $376, and this year is $431, which is up 14.5%. And then year to date, so January 1st to the end of September, in 2019 there was 5,677 homes that had sold. And in 2020, there's over 7,000. So there's 7,000. So that's 23.3% more homes sold this year. And as we know, COVID took up a good chunk of that. So that is crazy and amazing. And in 2019, the average sales price was 504 in all of Simcoe. And this year it is 578, which is up 14.8%. And then Barrie year to date, so taking out Oro, SS, Springwater, etc., depending where you live, but just in Barrie. In 2019, there was 1,763 houses that sold, and this year there was 2,260 houses that sold. So 28.2% more homes have sold this year. And last year the average price was $491, and this year it is $550. So that's also up, and it's up 12%, 12.1 to be exact. And then year to date, this is why I do other stuff, not just real estate stuff, because it's all numbers. Year to date in Simcoe County, detached houses that sold. So in 2019, there was 4,293. In 2020, there's 5,337. So more than 1,000 more have sold this year, detached. And the price last year, average detached was $543, and now the average detached is $627, which is up 15.5%. Last year, the average how many semi-detached homes sold was 111. This year, 178 sold, which is up 109.8. Hi, Dakota. Last year, the average price for a semi-detached home was $427, and this year, the average price is $462, which is up 8.5%. And then last year, year to date, so January 1st to September 31st, or 30th, however many days are in September, there was 629 semi-detached townhouses that sold last year. And this year there's 727 that have sold, regardless of COVID, still up, and it's up 37.7%. And the average townhouse price last year was $405,000, and this year the average townhouse price is $445,000, which is also up, as you can guess, which is 10.3%. And more numbers, condos last year 414 had sold year to date. This year 527 have sold, which is up over 44%. And last year, the average sales price was $383, and now the average sales price is $422,000 and change. It's lots of numbers, I know, but you're getting the gist that they're all up, which is great. As of today, there's 766 houses for sale on the market, majority obviously being freehold. So of those 766, 648 are freehold, the rest are condos. I know I said before how many sold, but I didn't say how many listed. So in September of 2019, 708 houses listed, and of those 708 houses, 708 houses, 673 sold, which is good. 673 of 708 sold last year, which is great. But this year, 1,106 homes sold, and the 1,106 homes in Simcoe County that were listed, 1,031 sold. So 358 more homes sold this year than last year, which obviously people being quarantined and, thinking pandemic and whatever, and 358 more homes sold. So that is awesome. And keeps losing connection. In Barrie and Freehold in the last 24 hours, there's been 17 new listings. One deal died, which means somebody didn't get financing or they didn't like the inspection or what have you. 9 houses sold conditionally, 11 houses sold firm, and 4 people got their keys, which makes sense. Not many people close on a Tuesday. And then in the past week in Barrie, there has been 58 new listings. 35 people have sold conditionally. 76 people have sold firm, and 111 people have got keys to their new homes or condos. 5 people decreased their price. 3 people increased it. I know a lot of people think you can't increase your price, but you actually can. And 3 listings got suspended. Condos in Barrie in the last 7 days. I have one more thing, then I'm done numbers. Condos in the last 7 days in Barrie. There's been 7 new listings. 1 deal fell apart. 17 conditionally sold, 14 sold firm, and 25 people got keys to their new condos. Why do you say the market is going to crash, Kevin? Kevin just said, but the market's going to crash is what he just said. They're actually expecting, I'll tell you more because it's more than I'm going to say. So we'll see if you agree after. So this is not really real estate wise, but just on kind of job wise, because obviously most people that buy a house have a job. There's obviously the odd retired person and so forth, but majority of them have a job. So since COVID, 1/5 of the people that have lost their jobs have been making less than $16 an hour. However, the number of people making more than $40 an hour has gone up since COVID, which is kind of interesting. And then they said in April, so there was different surveys, but one of the ones was done in April, and 25% of people said, like in the height of COVID and not knowing what was going on and so forth, 25% of people said that they would actually buy an investment property this year. Okay, Grimmelby. And then who was hit the most, they say, is university grads. So 1/5 of them had no jobs before COVID, and 2 out of 5 of them have no jobs since COVID. Okay, so some people have asked me, how will the second wave of COVID affect real estate? So it's actually shown still to be really strong and will continue to be strong because we still don't have that supply that we need, and we still have really high demand. So people are still wanting bigger yards. They're still wanting home offices. They're still taking advantage of the interest rate that's supposed to be low for another 3 years, like record lows below 2%. They want that home office. They want that home gym. They want that home spot to teach their kids if the kids aren't going back to school and so forth. They're leaving from the city and they want out, or they want a cottage just in case they have to quarantine again. They want to be able to go somewhere. So that is one of many reasons. I've also been asked who will feel the heat the most, and majority of basically things are pointing to people that own condos in Toronto. So Grimmelby, for example. Hi, Megan. Grimmelby, for example, has a friend in Toronto, and I think he has like 10 or 12 condos. So he, unfortunately, will be hit a lot because a lot of those people either relied on international students to rent it out, or they short-term rented it. and they had lots of people coming from China, Europe, South America, etc., to see the city, see Montreal, see Vancouver, etc. Those seem to be the stops along the way in Canada, and those people aren't coming, so rents are really low right now. So let's just say a condo that used to rent out for maybe $3,000 before COVID now is renting for say $2,100 or something like that, which is fine if the people bought the condo 10 years ago and their mortgage is only $900 or whatever. But if they bought it 2 years ago and their mortgage is $2,700, then obviously they're dipping into their I don't know what the internet. Megan, we were supposed to be in Mexico today. It's supposed to be a wedding. We were supposed to be in a wedding today. No wedding today. Barry instead with a sweater and wind. Okay, so also there is a potential rent freeze for 2021. This doesn't mean that you don't have to pay your rent for 2021. It just means, how normally landlords can put up your rent like 1.8% or 2.3% or whatever that is. So if this bill goes through, then landlords won't be able to put it up, okay? And Grimmelby is writing so much here. Can say some of this right. Oh my goodness, Grimmelby. Grimmelby is getting ranty in his old age. True story, Grim. True story. Okay. As some of you know, there's such thing as garden suites. So garden suites are basically like a detached property behind. It could have a garage on it, could have no garage, but basically it's like having an extra unit back there. So you could have 2 units in your house and then you have a third, or you only have one and then you have one over there. So Grimmelby's still writing stuff. So then you have this third unit or second unit or whatever. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because a study just came out yesterday and another one comes out on Friday. But they're saying that in the next 10 years, we're going to need 200,000 rentals to keep up with the demand of what we, need for basically the landlords we need for all the renters that are going to be here, okay? And the reason they say that is because of the jobs that have been created. Even though it's COVID, they're still saying because of the jobs. They're still saying because of the immigration that's supposed to come in the next 10 years, regardless of COVID, and money it costs to get into the market as a first-time buyer. So they're just projecting everything, okay, this many new Canadians to the area, this many people that can't afford to buy homes and so forth, as well as the lack of new construction. Grim, I can't keep up reading all of your stuff. The lack of new construction for the new builds, for the, an 18-plex or a 42-plex or what have you, okay? So that is supposed to need 200,000 new rentals to come up in the next 10 years, which is a crazy amount. And actually they did a study in 2017 and they said that they would only need 100,000, but because of, record population and basically strong job creation, that's why they're saying that. So they need 200,000, which some landlords will be happy about, which means they can charge more rent, basically. Okay. So Grim, I'm not reading all your rants because I can't keep up with your rants. So what do I have now? Okay, so I have a question from Barb and Aurelia. I know you do the 1,000 monthly giveaways. I think it's very noble of you. My question is, however, do I have to do a video? I'm not very techie and don't think my phone even records. Thank you, Barb, for asking. We actually had a similar question yesterday from a lady. She said she's 62 and she wanted to nominate her sister, and she wrote us a whole bunch of stuff, which was super sweet, but we do need a video, okay? So maybe if you're not techie, if you could get your neighbor or a child or a friend or something to just tape you super easy on the phone, send it. If it's homes.com, we will help you and walk you through the process if you can't figure it out, okay? Hi, Penny. I hope you're well. Oh, thank you. Hello, beautiful, to you as well. I hope you're loving your new house. Is the pool still open? I don't remember if it's heated or not, so I don't know if you have it open still or not. Grimmelby is on a talking mission today. Okay, so October 4th was National Animal Day, which is cute because majority of people love animals. And all those that don't are meanies. So why I say that is because as everybody knows with COVID, some businesses cannot sustain, and some businesses that have not sustained are zoos. So in Thailand, in Phuket, there was a zoo. I've been to Phuket. I've never been to the zoo there. I did see lions when I was in Thailand, but not there. But anyways, the zoo closed down, and there's this nonprofit organization that saved the Elephants Foundation, and they had enough money to save one of the two elephants that had been there for over a decade, like doing shows and so forth. But when it went to social media that they didn't have enough to save the other younger elephant, then a bunch of people obviously started donating in, and now they've saved both of them, and now they're like grazing free and swimming and basking, whatever, in the Thailand heat at this sanctuary that's like hundreds and thousands of acres, free until they get to the end of their life. I have no idea how long elephants live, but hopefully a long time, free now. So I thought that was cute that they saved them and that the zoo closed. So now I have a question from Michelle in Stroud. You closed the pool, Penny. That's too bad. Okay, Michelle from Stroud. How can I keep my head in the game and focused in my new business when I can easily get sidetracked by friends, chores, and negative self-talk? Thank you, Michelle, for writing in. Again, Michelle's from Stroud. So good photographer or good internet is not my game today. Keeps disconnecting. So even if you're having all this self-talk and you don't have, okay, I'm going to write in journals and say, I am this, I am that, or I'm going to be grateful for things. So say you don't have any, like you can't really get back out of the funk yourself. If you just type on YouTube or whatever platform you use, like I am affirmations, you can just listen to other people for hours and hours. Just say like, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am in the place I'm supposed to be, I am enough, I am exactly what I need, I have all the knowledge that I need, I have all the support that I need, I have all the knowledge at my fingertips, I can apply myself, I can this, I can that, and you can listen to all this stuff, so it'll just help you get a more natural sense of oomph, basically. So just be careful of what you're listening to, and be careful what you're watching. Let's just say you're saying you have this negative self-talk, but then you're watching these shows that are like really deep and dark and stuff, and then you're laying your head down at night and wondering why you have this talk. Obviously, part of that is like permeating into your, thought process. You're probably dreaming about things and so forth. So I would just listen to things, in the morning and at night on your own terms, and that have to do with positivity, and I am affirmations, and, just being in a better spirit and so forth, because your mind is like the biggest part of everything. So if you can't get that under control, it's really hard to do a lot of other things. So that would be my advice, but thank you for asking. Grimmelby, I can't help it. It's the Wi-Fi here on Peel Street. Okay. So who was that question for? That was Michelle. Okay. So a lot of times people say that laughter is wise words, Justin, thank you. That laughter is the best medicine, but a new survey just showed that 8 out of 10 people disagree, and they think dancing is the best medicine. So Justin, you should be dancing on TikTok, or just by yourself, or with loved ones, or the dogs, or whatever, and dancing. So again, 8 out of 10 people thought that dancing is the best medicine. 50% of them said it gave them better mental stability and strength. 67% said they wish they could dance more often. 41% said they're a bad dancer and they don't care. Dr. Peter Lovett was one of the psychologists that did it, that like conducted the survey or whatever. There was a bunch of them, obviously, but he was one of them. And he said that dancing reduces stress, relieves tension, and helps break unhealthy habits, which is great. So you have to dance around. Are you dancing, Justin, or are you just laughing at me? You dancing? Did you like the wave? I have one hand on my paper, so I can't do it. So dancing does the body good, not just milk, in their slogan. 28% of people said their favorite memory has to do with dancing, and 23% of people said they feel closer to their friends when they're dancing with them. 37% of people said it helps them forget about their troubles. And of the 5,000 people surveyed, hi Candace, 42% said dancing helps them lose themselves. Candace, do you like dancing? I was saying that 8 out of 10 people say that dancing is the best medicine, not laughter. However, I would say that laughter is probably second. Okay, so the $1,000 giveaway, again, just a reminder. Candace, do you know anybody you want to nominate? It can be somebody you work with. It can be one of your kids. It can be a neighbor. It can be a friend. It can be your hairstylist. Hi, John. It can be whoever you want. This month, the giveaway, it's always on the 1st. So this past month, I was saying we had the least amount of entries since we started the contest. So that just means your people have more of a chance to win if we have less people. So you just have to video yourself and say who you are and who you want to win and why, and send it to info@crippshomes.com. Again, info@crippshomes.com. And then on the 1st of every month, we will knock on somebody's door and give them a check for $1,000. So this past month, Mike won. Hi, Dad. And he was nominated by Haley, his girlfriend. So feel free to nominate whoever this month, and we will be happy to knock on somebody's door on the 1st. It's honestly one of my favorite days. I wish I could do it every single day, because it's a nice way to start your day by surprising somebody and making them happy. Okay, so I used to work at Victoria Village when I was younger, which is a nursing home in Barrie. And it had like swipe cards. And the reason that I say that is you were like locked in a study that showed that people, darn internet, people with Alzheimer's actually progress, and not in the good way, in the bad way, if they're doing routine all the time, which I did not actually know. So this new place in France decided, instead of having people like locked on a floor, now they're locked kind of essentially, but in this big huge community. There's over 105 residents and all these bungalows, and there's like a hairdresser, and there's a grocery store, and there's a music store, and there's a big cafeteria, and they just basically let them do as they want. And supposedly it's just helping slow, their Alzheimer's from getting worse and worse, which I just thought was cute, being that I worked in a nursing home for a couple of years. And just as something different, and they're trying it out, and it's had great, results on the 105 people that have been staying there. And I just thought it was cute to let them like do their own thing and live there. And anyways, so I know that some people that just came on now missed the real estate update, but basically everything's up. Not basically.